This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on 9 years of Nda Govt, new education policy and reforms in the Indian school education system. The participants are Dr. Pragya Singh, Director of Academic Assessment, Central Board of Secondary Education, and Rajesh Lake, Anchor.
The importance of early childhood education cannot be overstated, and the new education policy recognizes this by prioritizing the expansion and improvement of preschool education. Pragya, the policy proposes a new structure known as the 5+3+3+4 design. What is this, and how is this foundationally strong?
Children will spend, the structure is 5+3+3+4. The first, which means that the children will spend 5 years in the foundational stage, 3 years in the preparatory stage, next 3 years in the middle stage, and the last 4 years in the secondary stage. Now, the first 5 includes 3 years of preschool plus 2 years of primary school or the first Anganwadi. The next that is the first 3 of the 3+3 includes both grades 1 and 2 together, which ranges from 3 to 8 years old. Next 3 years then being split into class 3 to class 5, that would be the preparatory phases, and then we have the next 3 years for middle school 6 to 8. Before finishing the secondary education, that would be for 4 years 9 to 12. So this is how the 5+3+3+4 has been divided.
Okay.
And this has also been elaborated in the NCFFS 2022, which has already been released.
The integrated curriculum also plays a very important role, and this specifically refers to teaching approach that combines multiple subjects or areas of study into an integrated whole. Would you elaborate on this, please?
See, one of the major recommendations of NEP is that there is no silos among subjects. And this integrated curriculum is one aspect of that recommendation. So no silos, which means that a student can opt from different, there would be no distinctions in the discipline. So there would be no distinction between that this subject is vocational, that subject is academic. So that would be one of the aspects of multidisciplinary learning, so that it is easy. It actually leads us to have students which are musicians as well as mathematicians and scientists together. So this would help having a young citizens of our country which are holistically developed and can contribute better in the advancement of the society as well as our nation. And the entire structure, the pedagogical structure of 5+3+3+4 has been designed in such a manner to fulfill the aim of National Education Policy.
This approach that we're talking about, the integrated approach, Pragya, also creates a more cohesive learning experience for students by linking different subject areas and demonstrating the interconnections between them. If I'm not mistaken, if maths and history lessons could be interlinked, by conducting activities that might involve calculating the cost of war, for example. So this is how the integration is being approached in the coming years.
I would also like to point out one more aspect of our national education policy, that it involves the innovative pedagogies like art integration, sport integration, and storytelling, etc., which actually involves integrating different streams or different subjects together so that we can link a concept of mathematics with that of sciences or any subject of history, political science or languages for that matter, and combining them together and making such a lesson plan that all proper linkages can happen in different subjects. The example which you have just given is an apt one. I'll give you one more example of sport integrated learning, where sport was integrated in with the learning of sciences. I'll cite one example where one of the schools had where students were having difficulty learning the names of rivers. What they did, they conducted a football match, and instead of calling the students by their name, they were given the names of the rivers, so that one has to call them Vipasha, other has to call the person as Satluj. So it was a fun learning exercise, as well as it also integrated sport with the conceptual knowledge. And another thing which I can recall of is that of integration of art with other subjects, wherein you can have music, you can teach science, difficult concepts of science through music, by singing or by dancing, and the structure of DNA can be taught using a play-based method, or having a sort of role play wherein different components of self can be elaborated giving the role of a particular component to one person, and then they can create a structure of cell, and that can be explained to the students. So not only it is integration of different subjects, it is integration of art, sciences. Till now what we used to call as distinctions between the sciences, arts and humanities. So these distinctions are no more there as per the recommendation of NEP.
And also what I learned from what you just told us is also there is a reform in teaching methodologies as well. The traditional role of learning will be, I think, henceforth be on its way out, and more emphasis will be given to practical activity and project-based learning systems. Am I right?
You are very right, very correct in this manner. As I just mentioned that NEP recommends innovative pedagogies, and these innovative pedagogies are, to begin with, it involves experiential learning by doing. So once you also know that we learn better when we do it ourselves. So this is the concept behind using the innovative pedagogies, that bring a reform in the teaching method of the classroom, take it away from the inside walls or the insides of the classroom to the real life, so that the real life competencies of students are honed up or they are developed. Just take an example. If we have the example which I mentioned about sport integration or art integration, those kind of teaching methodologies not only bring fun and joyfulness in the classroom, but they also make them think critically and analytically also. I just take one anecdote here which I noticed in one of the classrooms which I visited during one of my visits to one of the schools. So there was an advertisement and which was being shown as a part of teaching learning process in the classroom, and then the teacher had written that you forget XYZ, don't visit that place because you will forget that. You will forget your home. So I asked one of the students, what does it mean? They said that this XYZ is so beautiful and so fascinating that you will forget your own home. So this was just one example of inculcating the critical thinking and the analytical thinking in the students. And these are the pedagogies which are being adopted after the recommendations of NEP or the implementation of NEP 2020. These are such pedagogies which enable students to think out of the box, think in a creative manner, and do something which relates their own conceptual knowledge to the real life situation.
So am I right in my understanding that henceforth it is not 100 out of 100 that we are looking for, but instead we are looking at developing creativity, critical thinking, and important life skills among students?
Certainly, having at CBSE also we don't have a merit list that way. We have already known about that. Now, scoring 100 out of 100 is not the aim. Aim is to develop a student who has all these skills which are called 21st century skills, which make him or her a better citizen and who can stand up or who can be a committed and responsible citizen which can contribute globally as well. So critical thinking, analytical thinking, problem solving, inquiry and creativity. All these are the skills which would help a child be successful in the 21st century.
True. So what about the use of technology in teaching? And what about recommendation that has come in to instruct in regional languages, because it has been thought of as something that will lead to better educational management? What's your thoughts on that?
Our policy is rooted in Indian ethos and values, and it promotes all Indian languages. It also emphasizes the use of mother tongue or local language as a medium of instruction till class 5th, and while recommending its continuance till class 8th and beyond. And this way it shows way ahead for India to become a knowledge superpower. So, and it's a part of research only that the students learn better in their own mother language or the language which they are more comfortable with. So therefore, there's emphasis on promoting multilingualism as well in Indian languages.
And what about the evaluation, Pragya? On what basis will the students be evaluated according to the new policy?
The evaluation and assessment reforms is one of the major recommendations of NEP. So if you talk about assessment as of and for learning, so evaluation pattern or evaluation, when you talk about evaluation, so I would call it also as the assessment for which NEP has given so many insights for the reforms. Now, if you see, NEP also tells us about taking assessment from rote memorization to competency-focused assessment, which means the assessment items that we call the questions would be more competency-focused. That means application-oriented, relating to the higher-order thinking skills, relating to the real-life situations. So this would again help us, the teacher and the education ecosystem as a whole, to identify the learning gaps and take remedial measures.
So what you're saying is that the grading system will assess the achievements of the students according to the learning goals of
Yes,
each
exactly.
program.
So learning outcomes is the key word now. Students are also aware of the learning outcomes which NCERT has developed. So learning outcomes, these are the indicators that a particular competency has been achieved by the students. Learning outcomes are the basic, we can say, the foundation of any teaching learning process now. So once we are able to achieve particular set of learning outcomes in a particular class, which means that yes, the student has been able to attain that much of learning level of that related to that particular grade level or class level. So if not, then certainly there are much more remedial measures which are to be taken by the teacher or by the school at that particular level.
And Pragya, what about the professional development which will help teachers stay up to date with the latest teaching methods and strategies as well as the subject matter knowledge? What is being done towards the continuous professional development of teachers?
As far as CBSE is concerned, we are taking a lot of efforts in capacity building of our teachers. Continuous professional development, minimum 50 hours per year, it has been given in the NEP also. CBSE has 17 Center of Excellence across the country, and they organize different kinds of capacity building programs which are subject related, general areas like skills, values, and different other assessment methods. So these item writing workshops. So all these are the different programs which CBSE is taking up for capacity building of our teachers so that they can contribute effectively in the teaching learning aspect of the classroom.
The working environments and service conditions, of course, will be looked into as well.
Of course. And for this also, NEP has recommended in Para 8.1 about School Quality Assessment and Assurance Framework, that is SQAF. And these are the parameters, the standards are the basic parameters of school quality such as infrastructure, safety, security, number of teachers across subjects and grades, then financial probity and sound processes of governance. So this has also been integrated with our affiliation process from this session onwards. And this would certainly help us building up schools which are, from the point of view of quality, which are second to none. These are the measures which are taken in alignment or as per the recommendations of NEP through the quality of education as far as CBSE system is concerned.
Pragya, the National Education Policy has also outlined the importance of skill development as a part of education to promote multidisciplinary learning and to provide students with a strong foundation in technical skills to stay competitive in the job market as they, pass out of school. So what is being done to develop the skill development of the students?
CBSE, right from 6th standard onwards, we have implemented the skill education, and there are, I would explain in detail about the skill modules and the subjects which are available in our system, CBSE system. At middle school level, there are, that is classes 6 to 8, we have 33 skill modules, and these are each of 12 to 15 hours duration. And they range from skill modules like things you should know about keeping medicines at home, what to do when doctor is not around, coding, travel and tourism, humanity in COVID-19, food preservation, embroidery, khadi, rockets, pottery. These are a few of the courses which are there in the middle school. For the secondary level, we have skill subjects like retail, information technology, automotive, beauty and wellness, tourism, agriculture, food production, then data sciences, artificial intelligence, multimedia, healthcare, to name a few. There are 22 skill subjects. And as far as senior secondary level is concerned, there are 43 subjects, and to name a few are business administration, food, nutrition, mass media studies, yoga, data science, artificial intelligence, electronics and hardware. And you will be happy to know that from at the middle level, almost 69,000 students have registered the middle level. And for the secondary level, there are approximately 21,000 schools which have registered for the skill subject. And for the senior secondary, again, there are approximately 11,000 schools which have registered, which have taken or opted for these skill subjects.
Pragya, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the Indian education system has been in a desperate need of reform for a long time, and the National Education Policy and other reforms and initiatives are encouraging steps in the right direction. However, implementation of these reforms and the government, educators and stakeholders must collaborate to ensure their success. We are truly grateful to you for joining us.
Namaskar.
You are listening to a discussion on 9 years of NDA government, new education policy and reforms in the Indian school education system. The participants were Dr. Pragya Singh, Director of Academic Assessment, Central Board of Secondary Education, and Rajesh Lake, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani.